What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Metabreakers Podcast, coming to you every Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's a little late. Blame Dan. Thanks, Dan. I'm just kidding. Hopefully everybody's had a good weekend. Thanks for getting in here early, guys. Appreciate you being here. And yeah, as always, joined by D Money, Draco Cat here, ready to bring you what the Hearthstone meta has to bring, news and updates, and then Q&A, as we know, at the end. So how we doing, guys? Dan, start with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little late today. I went to a wedding last night, my friend's wedding last night. Got back pretty late, you know. I was going pretty ham, you know, playing Hearthstone at the wedding. It got really intense. Kids can't stop playing Mercenaries, you know. But yeah, happy to be here. We got some awesome topics to talk about, and yeah, let's go. Another meta breaking day.
Sweet. I've been playing a lot of Battlegrounds this week. I thought it was fun when they introduced the Nagas into the game. I haven't played a Battlegrounds in a long time, but I realized I'm like okay at it, so I've been having fun. And I just got back from a 30th birthday party for one of my best friends yesterday, and it was pretty wild. So looking forward to relaxing today and recouping. Yeah. What about you, Rob?
So both of you guys had a nice night last night. Both of you went to some form of party. Yeah, I did not go to any parties. So last night we had gone to this brewery, which was a little interesting, right? So they had like the live music, and then like so there's a place around me called the Wine Room. So it's basically like you have a card that your credit card's connected to, and then you put the card by a machine, and there's like 150 kinds of wine, and then there's like, you know, 4 ounce, 6 ounce, 8 ounce, and then you can like try as many wines as you want and as little as much as you want of those wines, so you get like a good taste. So they had that with like beers, starting from like seltzers to stouts, you know, to light beers, lager beers, IPA beers. So like you could like, you know, if you're not sure, obviously you don't want to buy a 6-pack of a beer you don't like, so you like give it a little bit, and then it would show you how much you poured and how much it cost. And yeah, that was a pretty cool place. And then they had like a ping pong table, which I learned I'm actually not too bad at. And then Tony and a couple of my other buddies, they played Magic there, and that was pretty fun. And then after that, we got Taco Bell, which is like a great way to finish up the night after you've been drinking. Taco Bell hits the spot. And then actually next week, it's going to be a short week for me. I'll be going to New York and probably seeing our boy D Money there. I'll be heading off on Friday, so I will not be streaming Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this upcoming week because I'll be in New York. So a bit busy, but yeah, everything's going well with me. Excited. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
Very cool.
Let's go. We're gonna have to shoot another music video, you know.
Oh, I'm invited to this one. I get in. I get in. I get okay. He says maybe. Oh shit. You know, it's maybe though. Maybe this meta needs to change. So, so we've got Demon Hunter at the top, followed by Paladin, Hunter, and Warrior, all above that 50% win rate. And then we have Mage, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, Rogue, and Priest, sub 50%, with Warlock, Rogue, and Priest very, very sub 50%. We're talking 41 and then 40 at the Priest at the bottom there. So big drop off. And, you know, if we compare this to some of the other reports that we've seen, but this is probably because the expansion came out. We've been in this, I would say, meta for what, like a month now. Decks are getting refined. People are getting to see what decks they really like and enjoy, and the good decks will just keep getting better as the bad decks, like, they're just going to keep getting slaughtered, right? Like, there's no, unless something gets like innovated, right? There's like some brand new Warlock or Rogue deck that like starts, you know, penetrating the meta. These numbers are kind of
happens, but it's rare.
Yeah. I mean, you have like some high legend players. I mean, Draco, you watched, what was it, Habu Gabu versus somebody else, and it was Boar Priest versus Naga Mage, both sub 50%, but they're playing in top 1,000 or top 100 legend, right? So like
they're in top 10 actually.
Top 10,
they were
yeah.
like rank 5 and 2.
Exactly. And then we have, and those with 2 classes. I mean, one that what is to be the worst class, and the other one to be the first of the worst, sub 50%. So there's some hope, I guess.
Overall, yeah. Go ahead, Draco. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say that it's kind of weird how long that we've had this the balance patch that we're at without them touching it. Usually we get like intervention, pretty frequently now. Especially for Demon Hunter to be as powerful as it is, and the meta to be kind of warping around that and control warrior outside of top legend. Yeah, I feel like I want Demon Hunter to finally get nerfed, because people are starting to do the thing again where they like unironically call Demon Hunter players like stupid and like it's
Have you been
super
watching
funny.
my stream?
No, I mean, whatever, man. You just
Okay.
play decks that get beat up by it, and you lose to it. And I understand being salty
Yeah.
about that, but so I don't even really mind. But like, it'll be like in someone else's stream where someone will be like, aren't all Demon Hunter players stupid?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, they're all fucking dumb." It's just ridiculous, man. The hate for DH when it's like really good is like really, really nasty from like the community. When like about like I feel like the other deck that people are really nasty about when it's really powerful is Priest. People don't like like if Priest is really good or Demon Hunter is really good, people will say shit like, I think Demon Hunter should never have been put in the game. Like that's like a real common take that everyone has when Demon Hunter is really good. Everyone's like, I wish this never existed. Which is fine. I understand that.
Dan every week.
But...
Yes, every day, pretty much.
Every podcast he ropes around to, man, when Demon Hunter was introduced, that was the downfall of Hearthstone.
Yo, Dan complained about Hearthstone a lot before Demon Hunter. We were there. We were there.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Hearthstone. There's always something to complain about, yeah, this meta, I mean, Demon Hunter, it's like Face Hunter, kind of like. It's a very aggressive deck, but the thing is, like, it can win against literally everything. So, people are always like calling Face Hunters like smooth brain, whatever. Like aggro decks in general, like all face decks are usually classified as like the easier decks. But I mean, whatever rank, to play the deck to the top rank, you still do need a lot of skill, regardless of what deck it is. Like even if it's like a face deck, you do have to find the ways to like min max your damage and use your resources to get through against like some really difficult matchups, or even just like the mirror matchup. Sometimes everything's decided by who draws Drekthar. It's totally possible.
Yeah.
But there's definitely gonna be like a decent amount of times where it'll come down to skill. And
have you played the DH deck, dude?
I have played the DH deck,
yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's easy to mess up. You can totally miss damage. Or like sometimes you gotta know when to hold back certain spells, like to try to get to put together like a win condition.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to play
it's not
best
the
deck in the
easiest,
game.
but yeah, it's definitely
which is weird to say. It's the best deck in the game, but it's not the easiest to play best deck in the game we've ever had.
Yes. It's definitely really strong though, and you're saying like I don't know why we didn't get balance patch. A lot of people wanted a balance patch last week, but it did make sense to me that there wouldn't be a balance patch with the addition of Nagas to BGs, because that's a big update, and I feel like they usually like to spread it out so they get people playing BGs, and then they'll do the update. So I'm expecting an update to standard this Tuesday. I also do kind of like of course I did want the update last week as well, but the more time that we have until the update, hopefully it gives them more time to maybe include more buffs in the patch, or like just to like spend more time overall on the balance updates changes.
Yeah, maybe they'll give Swordfish an extra attack.
Thank God.
That would be ridiculous, man. I still don't. That card is still insanely powerful. Like the Swordfish card, even though Rogue is complete trash right now, but like the 4/3 weapon thing is nuts to me. So imagine it was a 5/3. There you go. Face Rogue would be the best deck in the game.
Casual 3 mana, 15 damage, buff a pirate. Seems pretty good. I don't know. I played a little bit of Quest Rogue. It didn't feel that bad. Like
Rogue is not that bad.
No, it just gets ran over by DH.
Like everything else is just so good.
Yeah.
It's just a worse Demon Hunter. Like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is. Like it's the same fucking game plan. But you have less flexibility, less draw.
Yeah, you have the minions, but you don't have the glaive and the weapon buffs. Like you have the same
Yeah, you can't
minion
punish
styles.
people
Yeah,
for playing minions.
exactly. It doesn't have any clear. Anything here that is worthy to talk about, or do you just want to head right into the top 1K of the 3 regions?
If any of you guys want the easiest tip ever for how to do really good with Demon Hunter in the meta right now before it's destroyed, just mulligan only for Slither Spears and Drekthar, and throw everything else, and you'll win a whole bunch of games. There you go. You're welcome, guys.
Or you can watch Draco's stream.
Or you can watch my stream and then learn how to play it nuanced.
But yeah, this
Perfection.
is so we're looking at the overall meta across all ranks, across all regions. And yeah, this is the same. It's like basically the same as it was the last 2 weeks. Like a couple of the classes like moved up or down like by barely anything. Like they swapped positions, like 2 of them here and there. But yeah, pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing. So I think we could yeah, go to the top 1K.
Let's go.
All right, we've got the top 1K here. Sitting at tier 1, we've got Charge Warrior. Pretty sure that's the same as last week, followed by Naga Demon Hunter, which I'm pretty sure is the same as last week. Top of tier 2, Celestial Druid, which was not there. And then we have Control Warrior and Hand Buff Paladin, one of my favorite decks, one of the hardest decks to play. So,
that's like your least favorite deck. Yeah.
I fucking hate that deck. Tier 3
It wasn't on there last week though. That's actually what's getting better, yo. So Hand of Paladin people are kind of figuring out. So
yeah, they're getting smoother.
It's pretty good.
Quest Hunter at bottom of tier 3, Quest Hunter, Mech Paladin, Ramp Druid, and Burn Shaman. So let's focus in on these top tier 1, tier 2 decks here. Anything to say?
I hate every single deck. Here, I hate it.
All right, Dan. What would the perfect snapshot be for you? What? Tell me what you'd like to see.
Look. The thing is, like, I feel like as an OG player of the game, like I feel like a lot of players that have played since the beginning wouldn't like this meta. They just don't like the game anymore. Like I don't think it's only me. I just think like none of the decks really excite me as a player, and I feel like that's the same. I feel like that's just like
have you tried multi-strike?
In the past. All right, I said this in the past that like with especially like with Control Warrior, like it's not the same. It's not the same as it used to be. Like control
has a
decks
win
are not the
condition
same
now.
as they used to be. They're like yeah, everything is different and. As a Hearthstone boomer myself, I'm just not jiving with it, man. Just nothing really excites me right now. Kind of sad.
So what
Definitely these top decks do not excite me.
So what does excite you? Like I said, what top decks would make you be like, damn, this is a solid meta. Not trying to make fun. I'm just curious. So you would want like all Highlander up there at the top, like Highlander Mage, Highlander
not all
Priest,
Highlander, but like just like more creative deck building. Like especially right now, like I get it because it's the first set of the year, so there's a very limited card pool and everything, and that's bound to make the game more stale more quickly. But yeah, there's just really there's a lot of like autocomplete decks, and like there's really not a lot of room for being unique, and that's what I like really like about Hearthstone is getting to like high ranks with unique decks or like really cool like tech cards, stuff like that. I don't know.
I feel like you're just chasing that one moment when you played Highlander Mage really late at night and like really high legend, and the deck was supposed to be really bad, but then you were just beating everyone with it, and we were playing in the middle of the night at the end of the month. I think that's the moment. You're just chasing that.
Yeah, I think so
again.
too. The Highlander
Like,
Priest, Highlander Mage.
When Highlander Mage was bad, or it looks like it was a bad deck, but Dan was playing it really well at top legend in the middle of the night, like, And yeah, I feel like that's what we're always chasing.
I don't know, man. It's just not the same. It's just not the same to me.
You don't have your
and none
Reno
of these
anymore.
decks on the
Your random spell a turn to cast Yogbox. You giggle, but you know it's true.
We have Reno. We don't have amazing Reno though.
Yeah, the
but
amazing
yeah,
Reno.
It's, yeah, I don't know. Nothing on this list really tickles my fancy.
Okay.
And I mean, there's other decks like you guys were talking about before. Like, there's other decks that are very strong besides these, like Boar Priest, that you see very like frequent in the top 10, and Naga Mage is very strong as well. We don't see that on this list.
Mhm.
But I don't like those decks either. I wish I did. I wish I liked something, man. I don't know, man.
How many-
I'm at like the worst rank I've been in a long time. I'm in like almost like 2,500 or like
Yeah,
3,000.
but if you play
like
but if you play decks that you like or you're trying new stuff, it doesn't feel as bad. So you want Highlander. What Highlander decks have you tried? Like, just curious. I know you've played the Quest, Highlander, Priest, and you look like you're having a pretty good time with that. I mean, have you tried like Highlander, like Warrior, Rogue, Warlock?
it's just the payoff is just not good enough for the Highlander stuff. Like, I could play two Renos and heal for like 100 throughout the game, and I'll still just die to
Yeah.
Quest Hunter or
And Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like the Reno.
I had a
Reno
rogue
doesn't
play
do
it 3
anything.
times against me before.
Oh
And I
my
killed the
god.
shit out of him.
Holy shit. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, it doesn't work. It's not good enough, man. Like,
Okay.
you can kill 3 Renos, man.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, maybe once we see some changes, if they actually like buff cards, that's the potential for like a big change in like what can be played. It makes room for other decks, and especially with nerfs.
That's
yeah,
our next
so
segment.
just trying to be hopeful for.
You know my experience with the meta, Dan? I feel like no matter what, like I'm just chilling in like top 200, 300 because I play Demon Hunter. Like it's like hard to fucking lose a lot because
Thank you.
because I play that deck and I'm allowed to.
I'm happy for you.
You could play it too, dude. You
Yep.
know?
I could.
Dust off the glaives, man. Punish people for playing minions. Kill the Reno players.
Oh my
Burn them all.
Jesus. Destroy every player like me. 1 minion at a time. I guess we could look at maybe Celestial Druid real quick because that popped up, and then we can move to our next segment. Any idea of like, was this deck good and nobody has refined it with like the Mana Sabers yet? Or like, is this just good against the current field of decks?
Yeah, I think Celestial Druid, I mean that like directly counters Boar Priest,
Mm-hmm.
which is being played like a decent amount at the High Legend.
It's hard to
I don't-
beat Boar Priest if you like. I had a lot of learning against that deck. I don't know if you guys went through that too, but like the whole Zyrella situation,
Yeah, having
like
to
where
hold
you
back
don't hit their
attacks.
face.
Yep.
Yeah, that like works really well.
Mhm.
Again, like when you're beating that deck, like if you're developing a board until you want it all to be cleared, just don't hit their face so they can't heal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Celestial Druid also beats Control Warrior, or maybe Charge Warrior.
It probably
Especially-
beats Control Warrior, but maybe not Charge.
Well, like you turn all their pieces to 1, and they only have the 1 mana, and like to the front makes it so it can't go less than 1, I believe. So
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, it might be good against that. You're right.
I think it's pretty good against that and Boar Priest. So I think that's why we're seeing it up there.
And it has
Um,
taunt minions, so those are pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit of
another
this Sully
deck,
Druid.
I hate that deck, man.
I mean, it's kind of hard though. Like, it's not the easiest deck.
Yeah.
I mean, some games, like, obviously, there's like they ramp.
You were like playing an off meta one, Rob. I don't think like you were playing this one. You know, like this
All
one right
right.
here is pretty cracked.
Okay, well, I was playing one with, slightly, probably, most assuredly worse, but still ran Selly in it with Lady Anachondria with the Miracle Growth, which is like the core package stuff, right?
True.
Yeah. So like while I got a taste of the flavor, you know, I could see why it would be pretty cool. I mean, I really enjoy if you get like the Mana Saber down, you play the Selly with the Lady Anaconda, and then you swing, but then you have Blade Master in your deck. You Blade Master for a spell so they can't cast Brawls and things like that. So that's like pretty cool. I mean, for me, not really them.
Yeah. Yeah, like Azori, just one thing that like Azori is saying in chat, that's because Quest Priest gets wrecked by it. It's actually so stupid that if you're playing Quest Priest against Celestial Druid, if they play Celestial Alignment, I can never get my quest off ever. I literally can never play spells or cards of that cost unless I like discover it and I wait like 20 turns. It's actually crazy. Like the whole entire deck
probably feels
just
awful.
gets countered by one. Oh my god.
That is true. That is actually
That is
not
kind of funny.
Well, the Boar Priest has a similar
feel bad.
situation, right? Where the Boar Priest, their weapon makes things cost 1, and then like everything in their hand is 1 anyway, so like they can still play stuff. So I'm sure the frustrations of playing Boar Priest are relatively the same of playing Quest
That's true.
Priest into.
Oh my
Sully
god, I
Druid.
got to ooze a Boar Priest earlier this week. It felt amazing. You know, like
Ooh.
I popped their boars for them, gave them the sword, and vipered them.
Oh my
It's like,
god,
get
Dirty.
fucked. Oh man,
that's pretty funny.
I like Boar Priest, man. It's a weird deck, but it's like feels pretty shitty to lose against because it's like completely uninteractive. But
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do
mind those
anything.
losses. Yeah. You know, like I'm okay with like the combo losses every once in a while. I feel like they're not too bad, even though I understand that that's like a lot of people's least favorite way to die in Hearthstone is to be comboed to death in one single turn or like sorted. I guess that's like it's not an OTK, right? They have to take 2 turns to hit you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's a combo deck, but it's not OTK. But the thing is, like, I don't like Boar Priest is not a very easy deck to play, right? Like, I don't mind losing. Like, I play a Boar Priest once every 10, 15 games, and like half the time they make a mistake somewhere in the game, like one mistake, and it ends up costing them, right? It's like, all right, whatever. But like, to me, what's more frustrating is like, no offense, like the 1 mana smites that come off to the Nellies every time. So they like turn 4 Nelly into a 1 mana smite. It's just like that happens once every 3rd game. That's like so much more consistent. And I don't like, while I wouldn't mind getting 1 mana smited sometimes, it's just when stuff occurs like so often, so frequently, and that's just like how you continuously lose. It just continues to put like a bad flavor in your mouth of like, okay, well, he's gonna Nelly again into Mr. Smite, and it's just like every 3rd game, every 2 games, you know, this is a thing, and it's just that doesn't feel good. Well, like,
you know what's depressing about Nelly and Smite, Rob? That pool's never gonna get better. Like they don't release like a shit ton of pirates after they released a shit ton of pirates in rotation years.
Yeah, it's not gonna get.
It's gonna stay the way it is.
Yeah.
No matter what, which sucks. You know, because there's not gonna be another pirate expansion this year, like or anything more than we got in Sunken City. Like,
yeah, they could change it to like get 2 pirates, or they can make it so like the pirates cost 2, or they could just change it to like you don't get legendary pirates. Like, I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna touch it somehow. It just seems crazy to me. 3 pirates, 1 mana, and like the pool is just gonna get better, and then they can get that card on turn 4 like pretty easily. Like, meh. Seems like a lot.
it's very annoying, man. I don't like Nelly, man. Like, as a card in general. Not only does it break the game, but it makes me upset.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart.
Talking about buffs and nerfs, we have Dean's recap of Q&A 43, possible card buff patch in near future, alternative Hearthstone, random hero portraits, and more. So he kind of goes over like the AMA that he had, where you know, they just talk about random shit and get asked questions. For cosmetic, they're still working on the ultimate hero skins, which would be cool. I'm assuming that comes with like a shit ton of wins, right? Like 5,000 wins or 4,000 wins or however long that'll take. But obviously what's more important than visual things is obviously buffs and nerfs. I would love to see some buffs to underplayed cards. I would love to see some nerfs to some overplayed stuff.
Oh my god, ultimate hero skins for like 5,000 wins or something? That's really happening?
I'm assuming that's what that means, right? Like ultimate hero skins. Like what else could that possibly Insinuate.
I thought they were just gonna make like, I don't know, like $30 fucking diamond heroes where like they have like a tray that you can click and interact with or some stupid shit like that you could spend money on. But like if they actually do like they make like it's
Yeah,
like
like a
another
5,000 win. Yeah.
that would be sick, dude. No one would have the Demon Hunter one except me. Let's fucking do it. I would be
Always
so
looking
stoked.
at it from a Demon Hunter lens, you Draco. Always Demon Hunter me, Demon Hunter this, Demon Hunter that. Can't lose to this. I see you.
But yeah, that'd be sick, man. That'd be so
Dude,
sick.
honestly, who cares about all these changes and everything when we can have like who cares about buffs and nerfs when we can get random hero portraits? Oh my god, that's sick.
I like
Why-
the
yeah.
the thing they did with the card backs. That's great. You know, like how you can have it shuffle between the ones you like.
I do that
You
now.
can't even choose the random feature anymore. You can't
Wait.
even do a random card back anymore.
What are you talking? That's what I have.
You favorite a bunch of different card backs and then it randomly selects them through those now.
Yeah.
There used to be like a random card back selection.
You know,
I don't
you
see
can
that
still
anymore.
do that. You just favorite all the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
the
what I was
card backs, bro.
memeing about on my
What?
stream. You can just hit random. I didn't see a random option there. I don't know. But yeah, I mean changes like this, like I don't really care about it. It's cool to have, but like there's just bigger problems. Like the client. Just still the client. Like just please. I don't care about random stuff is cool, but you know, especially like in BGs when the game lags every 2 seconds, they added like a new thing. We're actually going to talk, that's like one of the next segments, but they added like the 60 FPS kind of feature now where you can speed up your game supposedly, but Battlegrounds is still not it's not sped up at all. Not for me at least. It's
Yeah, it's
real
pretty.
it's real slow.
I
I don't know, man. Like I'm just so tired of complaining about the client.
Yeah.
To be honest, like
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I mean,
It's just when I see changes like this being brought up, it just grinds my gears a little bit. It's probably different like teams that are doing these kind of things and everything and
Dude,
implementing these changes.
Are you
But,
kidding? The cosmetic teams and fixing bugs in the
yeah.
client? Like, come on. Like
yeah, the Nelly buff still or the Nelly thing still exists. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the Nelly bug. Yeah. I mean, the you know, Reckless Apprentice, the animation still goes really slow unless you're playing as Celeste, that dragon hero. That's still a thing, and that card has been out for a long time. And
yo, it's pretty funny watching the way like Twitch chat reacts though when someone with Celeste plays Reckless Apprentice. Because everyone's just like, what the fuck, dude? No,
What the fuck? I don't think I've seen
Every
that.
time someone plays that, and they're like, whoa, it went so fast. You're like,
like, that's actually cool. Like that's actually wow. That should actually be like that. Yeah.
Another thing, something I'm looking forward to very much so, and I believe Dan and Draco are as well, is Warcraft Arclight Rumble. Dean has played between 50 and 100 hours of it, and he loves it. I love that he loves
Thank
it.
God.
Yeah. I'm glad he has access. We want access next. We're next on the list. And that's pretty much all. Just that he confirmed that there's probably going to be buffs and nerfs, and there's some other stuff in the works. So
Didn't that say that he almost exclusively played PvE?
Yeah, that's what it said.
yes,
Yeah, I'm not
exclusive.
playing. I don't care about PvE.
What are you talking about? They're gonna have like dungeons and raids and like multiplayer stuff and like a campaign. Like there's gonna be a bunch of stuff.
I just like go to the PvP anyway. Like maybe like the dungeons will be cool with like friends. That's like the only thing. But
Yeah, that doesn't.
I just like to jump right into the action. I wanna rank up.
And then complain
all I care
about
about
Demon
is
Hunter
winning.
when you lose to it in PvP some more.
Yes,
Illidan is so OP. in
probably.
Arcanite Rumble. Like, oh my god. I cannot stand Illidan.
I
So
can't play
cringe.
my priest deck. My priest.
I just
can't
want to play
play Highlander.
Anduin.
Oh man. All right. I guess we'll go to the update since we were just talking about that. Yeah, so if you load Hearthstone up on your PC and it's running like trash, in settings there's a new frame rate option and you can pick between high and low. I didn't know this when I first loaded it up after the update. I was like playing, I was like, why does Hearthstone look like shit? I'm like, is it my computer, guys? And they're like, oh, there's a new setting. And I was like, oh shit, that's cool. And I changed it to high and everything was fixed. So if you happen to be having Hearthstone troubles, we have frame rate now, guys, for you people with good computers. And then unfortunately people with bad computers, you also can have a setting that may help you. So that's cool.
Yep.
I thought Jay Alex posted on Twitter that he had to like change that setting every single time he loaded up Hearthstone, but
He did. Yeah, it's real.
that's a real thing.
Yep.
I have not. It's worked fine for me.
Yeah. Mine's been fine too.
And then we have the latest pass lets you upgrade to golden cards and share deck codes in chat. So Draco had, you had a tweet and asked about this, and he actually responded to you with like, yeah, man, we're working on it.
Yeah, dude. I'm so fucking hype about this. The funniest thing is reading, I was reading like the things people said on Twitter and on Reddit about it, and like people were like bitching about it, which I think is funny.
No way.
Yeah, people were complaining. They were like, so let me get this straight. This doesn't help if you don't have the cards at all. This doesn't help you out at all. That was like,
no duh.
yeah, God, no shit. Dude.
God.
So this gives us no more dust than we already started with. There's no way to get more dust out of it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like people were actually like complaining about how it doesn't help them as like a free-to-play player at all. Yeah.
Well, this isn't a free-to-play update. This is just quality of life for like everybody else who spends money on their game, which is how the game makes money to make updates like this. So
no, yeah, this is like such a great thing to have in the game because it what is the word? It rewards you it rewards the people that are more financially committed to the game. That's like what you want to do as a business, right? Like you want to like encourage people to spend more money that already are spending money instead of like pestering the people that are just not going to.
yeah, and it still helps them too. Like in the long run, if they ever want a golden card of anything, it costs less if they open it in a pack. Like it's just it's a good feature. There's literally nothing about this feature that is a detriment to the game whatsoever, no matter how you look at how it's implemented. Like you open up a card, you're like, I want a golden, you have the option to upgrade it and you don't have to spend twice as much dust to do that. It's just at its fundamental level an update in a good way.
Yeah, I'm really happy no one took the the debt forgiveness counterpoint argument with this shit. You know, like they were like, no one was like, well, what about all the dust I spent creating goldens in the pack?
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like, because someone always has to bring that argument. It's not fair because I had
just
to
crafted everything gold. What the
yeah. I had disenchant legendaries and then spend 2,800 gold to get a golden legendary in the beginning of Sunken City. So where's my dust?
Yeah, I mean, I did do that with a lot of cards, but I'm still not complaining. This feature's still freaking good. It's still freaking great, actually. And the share deck codes in chat thing is actually really great, too. I think that's a nice change. If only the friends list was any better still and whatever. But yeah, it's really good changes to see. I love it.
Yes. All right. Our last segment before Q&A, I actually looked at this morning. It has like 0 upvotes, but I thought it was like interesting that someone had a perspective on like being a new player and then having such a tough time with this game, given the fact that like all of the improvements Hearthstone has done over the years to make their game more accessible and cheaper for players to play who are new. So I'm going to read this out. And then I'll make some points, and if you guys want to add on, obviously. So title is, this game's unplayable for new players. One of my friends decided to get Hearthstone and try it out. After passing all the tutorials, it was practically impossible for them to win a game. I hopped on their account. It was impossible even for me to win more than 2 games in a row on their account, who was literally rank wood 40. You start out with almost no cards. you would see in the current meta, and the only way I'd ever be able to win is to use Ambassador to use the few dredge cards I had unlocked, and the hope the Colossus would be strong enough to swing the whole game. The players I first weren't even good, but there's decks that are so much stronger than anything you can make as a beginner player that each game was like an Elden Ring boss fight. This meta in general has felt like having the right cards is all that matters, but it pushed to the extremes with beginners who simply don't have access to those cards and give them a chance at winning unless they spend a fuck ton of money on the game that they just bought, and it was advertised as free to play, which it is free to play. That's how you're currently playing it, or you wouldn't be writing this. Aside from changing the meta, so it doesn't suck. So it's actually at least a little bit skill relevant. It can just give beginner players a way to get some good cards, or some way to rank up, because climbing ranks is practically impossible, but you need to be bronze 10 to even unlock parts of the game. So important things to mention here before we break down anything. If you're a brand new player who downloads a game and wants to spend no money on it, why the fuck do you deserve to be a high rank? I don't understand. This comes into my chat all the time where new players think that they just deserve a high rank because they downloaded this game. Like, they don't want to put any time investing into like understanding the cards, grinding the classes, leveling up, getting all the cards available to you, learning the decks. Like, they don't want any of that. They just like want higher ranks, but that doesn't mean you're a good player. That doesn't mean you understand the game. That doesn't mean you're learning. Like, the focus on like getting higher ranks to me is like, it blows my mind when you don't want to understand the fundamental level of how to play the game. So talking
It's also
about,
kind of funny because this person obviously is a bad player.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they can't win. That's like the problem.
What rank is this player?
they didn't mention. They just said that he hopped on their account and it was impossible for me to win. He never mentioned what rank he was at or how long he's been playing, but it doesn't even matter because he's losing at Wood 40. You don't even lose stars for losing. There is literally no, you just play the game and learn it at Wood 40. Like, don't worry about winning, just learn it. You need to learn the game. And the game does that. Like, that's why it put you at Wood 40, is because it wants you to understand the game and obviously win at least a couple games before it throws you into Bronze 10. But the thing is, he wants decks or competitive cards at ranks that aren't competitive. But the game literally, if you're a new player, we went over like the free-to-play decks it gives you. So if you're a new player or haven't logged in like 120 days and you hit Bronze 10, the game it gives you basically a low tier 2 deck to play. It just gives you, each deck has like, I think 3 or 4, some even 5 legendaries in the decks to start out with. The game gives you a large quantity of packs for completing, like going through the tutorial. You have the end of the month rewards now. You have the Tavern Pass thing, which gives you a lot of stuff in there as well. Most of the paid for in the Tavern Pass is exclusively just skins now, which I think is fantastic. If you're going to spend money, you get cosmetic shit. And it doesn't affect people trying to actually farm gold or dust or packs. And I don't know. It's just, when I look at, like, if you would ask me 3 years ago if Hearthstone was a great free-to-play game, I would have told you no. I would have told you it's probably too expensive, but at that time, they didn't have any of these features implemented to help new players get cards. And at this point, in comparison to like LOR, this, I believe, would be a runner-up for just free stuff. I mean, even if you look at what they did with Amazon Prime on Twitch, like, you get free legendaries now. When have they done that? Like, you got 2 free legendaries for just like being here on Twitch and claiming them. So, I mean, they're doing a lot for like free, in my mind.
That's true. That is true. But I feel like you also got to gloss over the most important aspect here, which is that these people could have gotten a free fucking deck if they just opened up the menu and wrote where you quit the game and wrote quit apprenticeship. And then they get a free deck. Like, they were literally like, instead of being at Wood 40, you can just quit the apprenticeship and get a free deck. Like, I mean, you did mention that you get a free deck, but like, these people are clearly not remembering that they get a free deck. They're complaining about the lack of cards because you don't get the free deck in the apprenticeship. You get the free deck after the apprenticeship. And that's what Wood 40 is.
Yeah.
It's very stupid.
Yeah,
This
we're
part of
definitely
it.
missing some information here, like what rank this player is that's playing on his friend's account.
Yeah, but even still,
I mean,
like, this is a new player perspective. Like, this is somebody
I get
who
it,
is like with his friend, and his friend may quit because of what his other friend is telling him. But like, all of this is just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we
Rough.
also need to know like what is he what are they losing to at this rank? Like, are people playing the DH deck that's all over ladder? Are they playing Control Warrior? Because those decks are pretty difficult to beat if you're playing other decks.
Yeah.
But
They're not playing
they'll
it exactly like card for card though. Like I've
yeah.
recently watched someone start a new game and like yeah, people are playing like Demon Hunter, but like they don't have any of the cards but the commons in like the normal deck. You know what I mean? So there's no Lady Satano. They're throwing in like the 3/2 demon like, dredges and shit. They just have like random nonsense in the deck. So they're not the actual super refined, disgusting decks.
Yeah,
They're
and I mean, if you watched if you watch like noob players play before, like they usually just like point all their stuff at the face, and they'll like frostbolt you on turn 2, and like they think that's a good play. Like when there's like a minion on the board, like they're gonna make a lot of mistakes. I really need to know what rank this guy is.
We're never
But
gonna know, man. Just spoiler, you're never gonna know.
yeah, I think there's good tools out there. You get the free deck. Um, I mean, you get the tavern. The tavern pass gives you some pretty sweet rewards as well.
I mean,
There's like achievements you could do at the beginning of the game that'll give you some gold to buy packs. Like there's a lot of there's a
the
lot of
core
good
set's
stuff
free.
that they've added into the
I
game.
forgot to
The
mention that
core
too.
set gives you a lot of
Yeah.
cards too. Yep.
Yeah, the core set
First 10
is
packs
like
that you
all
open,
the
you get a
legendary
legendary,
dragons.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we started playing, we didn't get a free deck. Come on, like
true.
that's ridiculous, man. Like you had to like figure it out from the ground up back in the day. Back when I was a young gamer, I had to start from complete scratch and craft every single card that I wanted to make in a good deck individually
No deck codes.
because yeah.
Yeah, no meta reports, no Metabreakers podcast for you. No deck codes, no copy pasta. You had nothing. We came from nothing. And now it's all here at your fingertips. And you're ready to be gamers
right.
if you're watching this podcast. You are here, you are now. You're going to be the best. Thanks for being here.
Do you remember like building decks off of watching someone else on Twitch playing a deck? Like you were like looking at the cards, card for card, and adding them like one at a time.
Yep. I'm like, how many of these
that.
did he play? Did he play 1? Did he play 2? Fuck, I'm 3 cards off. What were the last 3 cards? I gotta watch another game.
Yeah, good
That's how
times.
they get you.
Maybe that's why there's less Hearthstone viewership now, because
They just take the code and run.
You can take the code and go.
Yeah, but I do like empathize with this a little bit because those top decks are so powerful, like I was saying. But that can only go to like a certain extent, like because then we need to know more information about what you're playing, about what your opponents are really playing, and how you're playing it. Because
I can guarantee you, if you did this, you would kick everyone's ass, Dan. Like it's true. Like
I'm sure you could play. I'm sure you could play like a mech mage and still be like pretty successful, or like I'm sure there's a lot of decks that'll still win a lot of games against like these newer players.
I did this with my wife like a year ago, and she won, I think, over 40 games in a session. Like while I was like playing with her, like we were like kind of co-piloting, and she was learning the game, and I was helping her out. There was like 40 wins in a row. That's like statistically insane. Like
yeah, like I don't think a lot of people are like smurfing in this game. Like I don't think they're like really like making a new account to like get wins in like Wood 40 or whatever.
Yeah, this
like,
is not a smurfing. Hearthstone is not a smurfing game. Like you can smurf in League, you can smurf in like Valorant. These games don't cost anything. You don't need to buy anything to do well. But Hearthstone, and then on top of that, like if there's these new players playing, right? Like if you're an apprentice rank, that means your account's new for Hearthstone and whatever. I don't think these players are gonna drop $200-$300 to buy an expansion or whatever to like play this game that they just started. Nor would they be good enough to even have those cards and know how to build the proper deck. Like you're just expecting like the person to, at these ranks, first time player, spend a shit ton of money, know what the meta is, build a deck, and then play that deck well at a game and they never played before or they're new to. So it's just unrealistic that this could be the case. But it's sad.
Well, it is the case if you're good enough, right? Like if like you are a really good player, you can
an anomaly.
Smurf like
yes. There are unicorns, there are exceptions, but for the vast majority, I don't think that's true. And for Hearthstone, like the vast majority of players are casuals, and they're not competitive players. They're not super great. And it's sad to see this because like this is like one of our viewers, and he might quit, and I need him to watch us. So,
he needs to learn how to play that.
yeah, and that's
So
why
if you're listening out there,
We got you.
continue watching the Warshack stream. After the Metabreakers podcast, he'll be playing some ladder, and he'll give you some tips. That's what he does.
But like what this person wants to happen does happen if you are the person that they think they are. Like, so like when Liquid Ox did like a climb, like he put like a like I remember it was back in Galacron Day. He made a brand new fucking count, didn't put any money into it, and then just like put a Boulder Fist Ogre in his deck for no reason. And then went from like all the way in the back of Apprentice to like rank 10 when he hit Legend. Like that's what the rank it gave him because he won that many games in succession on the Legend climb. So it was like, this is a rank 10 dude. So that's like, and like the first time I ever climbed on EU, it was like, boom, rank 300 and whatever. Like the second I hit Legend for the first time. Like, so the MMR system does actually work in the way that this guy wants it to. This person just doesn't maintain the ability to achieve what they think they should. Like it does do that.
Nor does their friend. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not like skill shaming either. I'm just saying that like they could be like super high ranked and win everything if they could.
Yeah. I just thought it was an interesting take from a new player because I feel like it was just so very wrong, but that's just an opinion out there that I think
just get good. I mean,
yeah, there it is. Dan tells you, just get good. All right, we got Q&A. We're just at about time here, about 50-ish minutes. So for those of you who are new, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, feel free to ask some questions in regards to obviously Hearthstone or anything we've talked about in this podcast, or maybe a question that we didn't address, and or just a cool question in general. And depending on what it is, we could possibly answer it. I'm just kidding. We answer most of them.
This is your time to shine, chat.
Wrathspine Enchanter?
Oh my god, Red Books. So Red Book's been memeing on me with this Wrathspine Enchanter. It's the 7 mana 5/4 Shaman Naga that casts each classification of spell in your hand at random things on the board.
That card's cool.
It could be cool. The problem is, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. So Shaman, most of their spells right now aren't like good enough to cast at random minions. But if you look at Mage, there's Blizzard or Flame Strike. There's the Dragon Amulet, right? So like if it casts Dragon Amulet, that's just generally good for you, even if you don't get to pick the dragons. But Shaman, it only has like Don't Stand in the Fire as like a big spell that would just always be good for you because it always targets enemy stuff. But at any point in time, like let's say in Wild, there's like the 10 mana summon, 3 5/6s with Taunt. That card would be a great cast from that card. But in Standard right now, like even Tidal Wave would have been good. But right now in Standard, there's not any Shaman spell that's like 5 mana plus that generates stuff or does damage to only your opponent that you would like warrant playing that particular card. But he'll keep memeing on me and tell me it's meta breaking until I end up playing it.
Big spell Shaman.
Yeah, just like Rob said, yeah, there's the like fire spells are not that great. There's not really a lot of choices for like arcane spells either, or so it's a cool card, but yeah, there's just way more powerful things out there. But I still will try it eventually.
That card's even bad in duels, yo. Like that card's pretty bad.
It's a cool concept though.
Hearthstone has always been unplayable for new players. I remember being OTK'd by Raza Priest when I started playing during Frozen Throne. I mean, losing to a really popular deck, I don't think I'd consider that like a reason.
Hey, at least you're still here, and you still play the game, and it wasn't the combo at the 12/12s with Rush, because that would have felt worse. Like, you know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah, the
Murloc?
twin fin.
Yeah, at least that wasn't your
Yeah,
first
new players
experience.
getting twin finned. I could see people quitting over that.
That
And
one, yeah.
yeah, I can 100%. You load up, you're in the apprentice rank. You're like, all right, I got water elemental in my deck. I'm gonna be able to freeze great things. And then a guy hits you with a 24/24 rusher, and close out a Hearthstone. Uninstall
That
it.
warrants a Reddit post, right? Like,
yeah. Downloaded this game. My opponent's deck is so good. 24/24 rush on turn 3. He must have paid a lot of money for this.
yeah. I remember, yeah, when they were nerfing Priest, everyone was like, why are we nerfing the worst deck in the game? And then I remember like reading my Twitch chat, like the second someone did that to me, and everyone's like, I'm not playing this game anymore. This game is stupid, you know? Like, and so, I mean, like, the developers have to have seen that kind of reaction in communities if we have, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many games where I just queue into Priest and like they concede on turn 2 because they drew the card. Like that just can't be fun. Like there was like day 2 of it, and I remember because I need to make the YouTube video on it where I queued into, it was like 6 Priests in a row, and like 2 of them conceded on the spot. I conceded one of them. I got one of my combos. Another one conceded him. I conceded mine. It was just like, boy, I don't even know if those were considered. Is that even playing a game? Like, it was like crazy. And I like, that was like the highlight of that video, was just like
just roll some dice, bro.
Just queuing into the same deck and then watching them concede because they drew it, or I concede because I drew it, or if we both found it and we both killed each other's minions, we'd both concede because that's all the deck does. Like, it was so funny. Stupid, but yeah, it was so memey. All right, let's get one more question in here, guys, and then we'll wrap it up if there's one final question here. Oh yeah, I guess Dan, Shellfish Priest, how you feel?
No.
All right. And that wraps up this
Never.
Metabreakers podcast. It just ends with no.
All right. Well done, gentlemen. Another one for the books.
All right. Thanks for tuning in for another Metabreakers podcast number 93. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave comments on here as well, as we will look at them for the following weeks ahead. And yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time for another good Metabreakers podcast. And chat, I'll be continuing playing Hearthstone after this as well, so don't go anywhere. It's not over yet.
Have a good stream, man. Peace out.
Don't change that channel. Yeah, thank you for having me.